The world is over. AMD had earnings and it's down 6.5%. I'm just messing with you guys. AMD did have earnings down 6.5%. Not the end of the world, right? Price action, since we've been spotting this inside of the smart money zone, is still up nearly 91%. And no matter what the stock is, it cannot and will not go up forever, especially in a straight line. But the goal of this video is to talk about if I'm still bullish on AMD, which I am, what I plan to do with my positions, and where I think this thing is headed within the next couple of weeks and next couple of months. So, as a reminder, a little bit of a brush up for you guys who have not been here for a bit. Why were we bullish on AMD? Well, the first thing is we have to zoom out to the monthly chart. Whenever I'm looking to take a position in a stock for the long term, I want to make sure two major things are happening. Number one, that I'm trading a stock that is in bullish structure. In order to tell, we will look at the lows. Price action needs to be breaking out. Price action needs to be pulling back and making a higher low, normally testing a smart money zone, which we're going to talk about in a moment. And from there, price will normally break out again into a higher high and continue to repeat this pattern over and over and over. A good example of stocks that we are trading right now is obviously AMD. Another one is Reddit. This type of pattern just continues to present itself in the market if you are patient enough. Now, in the case of AMD, I did have some trouble trying to time this back here in February of 2025 and at the end of last year. But in most cases, when price pulls back into this purple smart money zone, that is the lowest that institutions will normally allow the stock to pull back to, because it is at such a massive discount that if they're going to save the trend, or in the structure, I should say, it's going to be there. Now, of course, that doesn't always happen. We see structure just break plenty of times, but this normally happens 55 to 65% of the time. And it's such a viable strategy because when it does bounce, the upside is massive relative to the potential downside by the time we stop out of a position. Now, last time we hit this smart money zone back here in October of 2022, price rallied nearly 300% within 500 days. Right now, price has rallied from that smart money zone, as we said, about 100%. Of course, there's not just one massive breakout to the upside that never stops. You can see that even in this 300% rally on AMD, there was nearly 4 months where price just slowly pulled back and consolidated nearly 21%. This is why using a proper strategy in trading/investing is so hard, because it requires a lot of patience. But patience is your biggest friend. If we were to look at our monthly BX scale out strategy for AMD, you'll see that if we simply entered AMD when the monthly BX trender was showing buying pressure, which is exactly what is happening as of May 1st, 2025, and then every single time that we hit a 50% profit, we took 5% of that position off the table, we would have made a 75,000% return, compounded, of course, since IPO. This would have had a 66% profitability rate with a 2.9 profit factor. Now, the most important aspect of this is that as the stock is breaking out, that we're going to be scaling out of this position from time to time. You can see that we have it set to where anytime a 50% increase from our entry hits, we take 5% off. So that means if we enter and then we're up 50%, we take 5% off. If we're up 100%, we take another 5% off. If we're up 150%, take another 5% off until we entirely scale out of the position, or until the BX trender on the monthly turns red. And you can see that's exactly what happened back here in January of 2023. BX trender makes higher low. We scale out here, then fully close our position on July 1st, 2024. So looking at AMD, yes, we're up a lot right now. We're doing very well. But I am personally not looking to scale out of this position entirely until we actually see the monthly BX turn red. Because there's still a chance over the next 6 to 12 months, this thing moves another 40, 50, 60% to the upside. And for those of you who have been following along, as the stock has been breaking out, I have been closing my call options for 2026 and rolling them, meaning I'm closing the ones that are up a lot, and then I'm opening a new position, which is me scaling out as the stock continues to run. So best case scenario, price continues to move its way up to 220, 240 over the next couple of months, and we do really well. A worst case scenario, price ends up rejecting here and coming back down to test the 140s. Now, if that ends up happening, and the monthly BX is still showing buying pressure, then what I'm going to do is average back into my position and see if we can get that breakout to the upside once again. Short term, we could see a pullback on AMD. There's nothing that's confirmed just yet. The weekly is still showing strength. But in my opinion, there is no reason to be worried. There's no reason to be freaking out. We have timed this thing to absolute perfection. Let's just let the winners ride.